In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Welcome, my dear grade 9 students. This is a new lesson from Module 9. Lesson 9B, Read, See, Vocabulary. It's in your student's book page 98, Workbook Page 93. Let's start our lesson. Let's illustrate the lesson objectives. By the end of the lesson, students will be able to respond to some true-false statements after scanning a text on instructions. Recognize some vocabulary items about the units of measurement. We will begin with a revision of some items from the previous lesson. Do you remember these abbreviations and what they measure? I think you remember them. Let's revise them together. Kilometer here measures distance. Kilogram measures mass and weight. Celsius measures temperature. Minute measures time. Liter measures liquid and capacity. After this quick revision of some items from the previous lesson, let's go to student's book page 98. Now we are going to start with exercise C. It's a wire reading activity. In this activity, you are going to scan the texts, then read them carefully and write T for true and F for false. Let's read the sentences together. Number 1. You should wait before eating the soup. 2. You should eat something just after you have taken the medicine. Number 3. You should plant the seeds at a particular distance from each other. 4. You should put the vanilla into the bowl at the same time as the sugar. 5. You should put the dye on your hair 60 minutes after preparing it. Number 6. You need a piece of wood in the shape of a square to make the birdhouse. Now, let's read the text together in order to answer the question.
9B. 1. Read. 1. Stir about half a cup of dry mix into 1 cup of hot water. Cover and let it stand for 10 minutes. Serve. 2. It is best to take this medicine on an empty stomach, 1 hour before or 2 hours after meals. Shake well before each use. Keep out of reach of children. 3. Fill a large pot with 1 kilogram of soil. Make 1 centimeter holes in the soil. Try to keep them 5 centimeters apart from each other. Plant 2 seeds in each hole. Water regularly. 4. 1. Pour half a litre of cream into an electric mixer bowl and mix for a few minutes. 2. Add about 7 tablespoons of icing sugar. Mix until the whipped cream is thick. 3. Serve immediately. Helpful hints. Make sure the cream is cold. If you plan to add any flavourings, such as vanilla or spices, remember to add them with the sugar. 5. Mix dye with 120 millilitres of hot water and leave for 10 minutes. Wear gloves to protect your hands. Apply with a 5 centimeter brush. Make sure you cover hair completely. Leave for 60 minutes. Shampoo hair. 6. Make your own birdhouse. You will need a thin piece of wood 60 centimeters long and 45 centimeters wide. Use a ruler to draw the shapes accurately, as shown in the diagram, before you cut them out.
After scanning the text, now let's check the answers together. The first sentence is true. It's true because the first text mentions that you need to let it stand for 10 minutes. This means you should wait for 10 minutes before eating the soup. Sentence number 2. This sentence is false. Why is it false? Because according to the text, it is best to take this medicine on an empty stomach, 1 hour before or 2 hours after meals. So, you should wait for 1 hour before you can eat anything. Sentence number 3, it is true. Why is it true? Because the text instructs you to leave a distance of 5 centimeters between the seeds. Number 4. This sentence is true. Why is it true? Because the text tells you to add vanilla or spices at the same time with the sugar. Number 5. Sentence 5 is false. Why? Because the 60 minutes mentioned is the time you should leave the dye after you apply it on the hair. Number 6. This sentence is false. Why? Because it mentions that you need a piece of wood in the shape of a square, while the text said that you need a thin piece of wood 60 centimeters long and 45 centimeters wide, which is the shape of a rectangle. Now, let's move to the post-reading activity. In this activity, you are going to think about the following questions. Question number 1. Have you ever followed any of the set of instructions mentioned in the reading activity? The second question. Which is the easiest and the most difficult set of instructions mentioned in the reading activity? The last question. Have you ever tried to follow a set of instructions which resulted in a disaster? For the first question, my answer is that I have followed instructions in cookbooks, on packets of food, and instructions for using medicine. For the second question, I think the easiest instructions are the instructions on food packets because they are short and simple. But the most difficult instructions for me are instructions in cookbooks because they are long and complicated. For the third question, once I tried to follow a recipe in a cookbook, but the result was a disaster because the food was so bad. Now, try to think of your own answer and share it with your friends. Now, let's move to the second section of our lesson today, which is vocabulary. In this section, we are going to recognize some vocabulary related to units of measurement. We have 3 categories: length, weight, and capacity. The first unit we have here is the inch. 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. For example, my brother Tom is over 5 inches taller than me. The second unit is the foot. 1 foot equals 30.48 centimeters. For example, some basketball players are over 7 feet tall. Here we have the yard. 1 yard is 0.91 meters. For example, he bought 3 yards of denim to make these jeans. The last one is the mile. 1 mile equals 1.6 kilometers. For example, let's go to the park. It's only 5 miles from here. The second category that we have today is weight. The first unit is the ounce. 1 ounce equals 0.35 grams. For example, a medium-sized egg weighs 1.75 ounces. 1 pound equals 0.45 kilograms. For example, I have to carry 10 books to school, and each book weighs 2 pounds. This unit is the ton. 1 ton is equal to 1,000 kilograms. For example, blue whales grow about 80 feet long and weigh about 120 tons. The third category that we have today is capacity, which is usually used to measure liquids. The first unit here is fluid ounce. 1 fluid ounce is 29.5 milliliters. For example, this water bottle contains 20 fluid ounces. 1 pint equals 473 milliliters. For example, I bought 2 pints of milk. I hope that's enough. Then we have the quart, which is equal to 0.95 liters. For example, I usually drink about 2 quarts of water a day. The last unit is the gallon. A gallon is equal to 3.78 liters. For example, the swimming pool contains 32,000 gallons of water. Now, you are going to listen, read, and complete the sentences with the measurements in the box.
2. Vocabulary. Listen, read, and complete the sentences with the measurements in the box. Units of measurement. Length. 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters. 1 foot equals 30.48 centimeters. 1 yard equals 0.91 meters. 1 mile equals 1.6 kilometers. Weight. 1 ounce equals 28.35 grams. 1 pound equals 0.45 kilograms. 1 ton equals 1,000 kilograms. Capacity. 1 fluid ounce equals 29.5 milliliters. 1 pint equals 473 milliliters. 1 quart equals 0.95 liters. 1 gallon equals 3.78 liters.
Now, you can pause the video, read the sentences, and try to complete them with the correct measurements from the box. Now let's check the answers together. Number 1. An adult elephant can weigh about 7 tons. Number 2. A ruler is 12 inches long. Number 3. My family usually drinks about 2 quarts of milk every day. Number 4. The distance between Liverpool and London is about 180 miles. Number 5. A baby weighs about 7 pounds when it is born. Number 6. The highest mountain in the world is 29.029 feet high. Number 7. I use about 3 gallons of petrol a day to get to and from work. Now let's move to Workbook Page 93. In this exercise, you are going to look at the photos and complete with the measurements in the box. Now, pause the video and try to answer the question. Now let's check the answers together. How much soda does this can contain? It contains 12 fluid ounces. How much milk does this carton contain? It contains 1 liter. What is the weight of this chocolate bar? It is 100 grams. What is the size of this TV? It's 32 inches. How long is it to Philadelphia? It's 250 miles. How much fuel does this plastic fuel can contain? It contains 1 gallon. How much does this man weigh? He is 65 kilograms. How long is this table? It is 1 meter long. How heavy is this elephant? It is 3 tons. How tall is this young man? He is 6 feet tall. Now we have come to the end of our lesson today. Thank you for watching. Study hard and keep safe.